Browns, and we're excited about it, and we'll be practicing here shortly, and that's where we're at. What questions do you have?
Hey, John, this is Jameson. With everybody that it seems like, every day it seems like more and more guys are coming off the reserve COVID list, and you pretty much have your full squad essentially back. Even though it's kind of the 2020, do you feel this is getting back to normalcy after what you guys have gone through over the past couple of weeks?
Right. I mean, I'm not sure normalcy, like to your point. I'm not sure what that means, but I don't think anything will be normal, quote unquote, again. Maybe that'll be for the better in many ways. Maybe we'll find ways to improve through all this. So, yeah, we're just excited to have the guys back. It's good to have them out there, and we're looking forward to, getting ready to play the game.
Hey, John, it's Luke Jones with WNST. I wanted to see how Calais Campbell got through the game. I looked at a few different points like he was battling, and he played around 23 snaps, not his normal workload.
Yeah, he got through it healthy, and that's he had coming off COVID reserve, and then he had the calf strain previous to that. So I think just with time, he should just continue to get better and better, and he'll be working on it this week.
Hey, John. Dave Ginsburg. I was wondering, you played the Browns a very long time ago. What have you seen that is different now that you're going to see them in the rematch? And they're 9-3, obviously. Are they better than what you saw in the season opener?
Well, I mean, I said after the season opener that was a good football team, and a lot of you guys just rolled your eyes, as I recall. So it was pretty easy to see where they were going and what they were building. So, yeah, they're a good football team. They were a good football team then. They came out the next week and proved they were a good football team. So I think they're running their system, the system that they've installed, both really all three phases, and they've stuck to it, and they've done a good job with it.
Hey, John, after the game, you mentioned that you would, when you get a chance, you'll talk to Daz Bryant about his positive test. Have you had a chance to talk to him, and how's he doing?
I have. He's doing as well as could be expected. He's a guy that cares. He sacrificed a lot to leave home and leave family behind and those kind of things. And he's a family man, has kids, and so I think he's pretty hurt by it. Not mad at anybody, but just the circumstances. I think he's a little stunned by it, surprised that it came up, and. That's where he's at. So, I think he's trying to work his way through it right now.
Hey, John, it's Kurt McEwen from 98 Rock. Back to Cleveland for a second. When so many head coaches have failed there over the years, what is it that Stefanski's doing that's different or special that's making him?
Yeah, I don't. That's not like for me to say as an opponent. We play him, and I think Coach Stefanski's done a great job. Coach Wood's done a great job. Coach Prefer. All their coaches have done a great job. They've been building this team for a long time. There's a lot of really high draft picks on that team, to be honest with you. I mean, just a ton of them. So they've got a lot of good players, and they're good guys. They play hard. They're competitive. They're tough, but they've always been that way. So, I just am not going to fall into that narrative. We played them last year. They were tough for us. We played them 2 years ago. They were tough for us. We played them 5 years ago. They were tough for us. 10 years ago, they were tough for us. I mean. Yeah, there's a lot of wins in there, but there's a lot of tough, hard-fought wins too. So, I just have never gone that way, and I refuse to be drawn into that comparison, type of a deal because I've never acknowledged it in the past.
John, this is Jess Rebeck. Getting back to Des real quick, do you think when he's cleared, he's an option for you guys, or is he considering? I know he said on Twitter at some point that he might be done for the year. Do you expect him to be an option for you guys when he comes off, the COVID list?
I know the COVID is 10 days, and that's where we're at with it. I can never speak for another person, because of the Twitter stuff and all that. That's something that you'd have to ask him. I don't have any answers to that for what. To speak for somebody on all that, but that's what we would be planning for. Certainly, he's certainly an option. I mean, he's a part of our team, and I was really happy with his progress and how he was practicing, and was excited for him to play in the game. Really excited. I saw him before the game, and we were both fired up for the game, he was super fired up for the game and excited. So I think that's why emotionally, I don't think it's hard to understand why it would be such a tough thing emotionally. You know, especially where he's at in his career. I think we could all put ourselves in his shoes on that for sure. You know, and I'm very sympathetic towards that and understanding of it. So ultimately, people make decisions for themselves, and that's what they have to do. But from my standpoint, absolutely, the answer would be yes to that.
Hey, John, this is Jameson again. With Lamar, you saw in the last game, and kind of like what he's done throughout his career, like on fourth down, he's keeping the ball, he's trying to get the first down. Even when you're up by 10 late in the game, he's still trying to, get that touchdown. I mean, is that just kind of describe his fearlessness? Is that just kind of the competitiveness, fearlessness in him?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys know him as well as I do. You've seen every game he's played here, and that's who he is for sure, So he's always going to try to score. He's always going to try to get the first down, And I mean, I don't think it's a revelation, but it's certainly in his personality and his style and all that. That's who he is. He's a big time competitor, and he wants to do well every time they take the field, every time he takes the field. And if he doesn't do well, he's not very happy about it.
Hey, John. Jonah Schaefer with Baltimore Sun. Along the lines of that fourth down run, two-part question. Is there a name for that concept that you guys have used to such great success? I've heard called it inverted veer, power option. Do you guys have a terminology for that? And just that concept in general, why does it put so much stress on defenses the way that you guys run it?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different types of plays we run along those lines that cause conflicts for the defense, in our run game. And I think, you hear the defensive coordinators talk about it quite often. So, it has a concept name. There's different plays within the concept that have different names. There are different ways that we formation it, motion it, set it up. But basically, it's the pitch phase becomes the back, and the dive phase becomes the quarterback. So inverted is a good term. We don't use that term. I'll let you ask Greg that question, Jonas. He can decide if he wants to answer it or not. I'll leave that for him. But it's definitely one of our concepts, and it's one of our good concepts, and it's a really tough thing to defend for sure.
Hey, John Childs at the Sun. Talking about Lamar still. It seemed like when we talked to him after the game, I mean, he said it almost felt like I had been away for a whole year, and it was obvious the joy that he felt in being back. Did you feel that was contagious to some degree across the team, I guess?
Well, yeah, and I think so. And I think for all the guys that were out, it's sometimes you don't realize how much something means to you. And I think these guys do realize how much it means to be playing in the National Football League. But the day-to-day, you don't realize how much it means to you until it gets taken away. And, even something as simple as the weightlifting, I heard the guys, excited about getting in there and getting their lift in, the guys who are away. And they're normally not talking like that, because that lift is not easy. So practice, playing in the game for sure. I absolutely think that's true. And, it's a good shot in the arm for anybody when they miss something like that and they get to come back and do it again.
Hey, Coach, Todd Karpovich from SI. We're going to talk to Gus Edwards here in a little bit. He seems to be a guy that just takes advantage of every opportunity and every rep that he gets. And just talk about, you see that sort of work ethic in practice? That guy, he's so determined to make plays for you guys.
Right, it's a good term. Really, it really is a good term, Todd. Determined. That's how he is. He's been that way from the first day he got here. His demeanor really hasn't changed. He's a straightforward kind of a guy. Work ethic. Personality, professionalism. He's got a lot of talent. I would say it hasn't changed one bit. That's who he is.
Yeah, Coach, this is Cliff Brown, Ravens Media. I also had a Gus question. He has had a lot of big games November, December. He's had 100-yard games in November, December. Can you talk about what he brings to the table as a physical runner this time of year? And also, it seems like he's as elusive as he's ever been. He had some shifty moves there the other night against Dallas.
Right, yeah, you saw that. Yeah, definitely. He's something he's been working on as part of his game, I think, for sure, Cliff, to bring that part of it, to make tacklers miss on the second level. He's already tough to bring down just because he can run through an arm tackle as well. So I think that's a great addition. To see that was great to see. He brings a physicality. He's He's a downhill runner. He can run. He's a downhill runner even outside. So I don't want to say he's just an inside runner because he's not. But his style, it really puts stress on the defense going that way, and then he works off of that. So yeah, that's kind of describes him really well. I think what you said.
Hey, John. Hey, Coach. Sean Stepner, WMAR, ABC Baltimore. Bradley Bozeman, your Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Ravens. Can you just talk about what that means? I mean, for you presenting that award every year to one of your players, and also Bradley and what he does off the field, how meaningful that is.
It is something. It's first of all the league doing this and the way this thing has kind of evolved, and of course we got the Man of the Year and the whole league came here this year from Jacksonville, Calais, but. You guys are around players, and even any athletes or entertainers or anybody, I guess. But sometimes people wonder, I do. I wonder what people are like, in their behind the scenes, so to speak. I think it's really great for all of us to see who these guys are, behind the scenes, and you get to see what they do and what they care about. Bradley being one of those guys and his wife. I mean, bullying kind of hits us all close to home with the fact that. We all have kids, and we see it and hear about it, and and we've all been kids before. We know how it works, and sometimes adults are the worst bullies in the world. But that's kind of a unique one, And for him to be involved in that, and then to drive all over the country together in their RV and to distribute the meals and all the different things that they've done, I just think it's cool, And as Bradley says, his wife is definitely the one the driver and the organizer. I think he's the driver of the RV. She's the driver of the creativeness and the charity, but it's the whole thing that the NFL does is really powerful and awesome. It's fun to be a part of it.
Hey, John, this is Aaron Cousins at Penn Live. When you guys played the Browns last, I think Lamar had probably his best statistical game passing. What clicked in that game, and is there any benefit to sort of having to go back to watch that to when he was throwing the ball really well?
Well, we go back and watch it really a lot, and we do always when all the previous games, especially against our division teams, you get a good feel for how they like to play you. So we've watched that a lot, and there is a lot of benefit to it. We'll try to do the things we can do to try to move the ball and score points, whatever way it is, and some of it will have to do with how they play us, and some of it will have to do with how we play, how well we play. So that's really what it boils down to. But we'll be trying to throw it, we're trying to run it, we're trying to do all the different things within that we can do to try to score as many points as we can. And that's really the challenge every week. Every week's a different week that way. So we always try to do that, and this week won't be any different that way, and hopefully we'll be successful with it.
Anything else for Coach?
John, this is Jeff again. Is there any chance you get Jimmy Smith back for Monday?
Could you say that again, Jeff? Sorry.
Sorry about that. Is there any chance you get Jimmy Smith back for Monday?
Sure. Yep. I think it'll kind of watching how he progresses this week. I don't know that he'll be practicing today, but going forward in the week we'll see. And he wouldn't have to practice to play. So, but I'd like to see him practice if we can. We'll just kind of see how he feels with it.
Okay, appreciate you, Coach. To the media, we're going to send you to a waiting room, and we'll be right back with Brandon Williams.
Thanks, everybody. Good seeing y'all.